Hi, my name is Yasu, and usually from Japan, but I'm in Taiwan right now. So my channel is me doing hitorigoto, which is talking to myself. And then today I want to talk about why I was able to make a decisions of start taking antidepressant right away on the day that my doctor first introduced me and asked me to consider taking it. And on that day, without any hesitations, I agreed with my doctors and then start taking the antidepressant. And then I don't think it's common. At least like my friends are very surprised that how could you make that decisions on the first day and on the first moment that your doctor asked you to consider. If I were you, I don't think I could do that. And I think it might be worth explaining why I chose and ended up making the decisions. And then it's really because of how I trust my doctor. And then even though like we don't really have that long, I don't know that doctor for a long time, but it was I was able to trust him based on how he diagnosed me initially and how I didn't follow his instructions or advice as a medical professional. So anyway, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. So if you somehow feel like it already now, please subscribe to my channel. So I think trust is very important because we don't know if the doctor really cares about us dearly. Because in the end, if something really happens to us, and the doctor might feel bad, but he or she, they have their own life, and that's just their job. So it's our responsibilities to really look after ourselves, and we really have to make decisions for ourselves, even though a lot of most of the times in life we need to really rely on information provided other people or external environments. So this is how everything happened. In June this year 2023, that was the first time in Japan that I went to see a psychiatrist. I explained to my psychiatrist that after the surgery, I've been feeling very off. I don't feel myself. It's getting harder and for me to figure out what kind of feelings I have or how I feel or what I feel in general. And also like I don't know what I'm thinking, and it's very hard for me to organize my thoughts, and then it's affecting my job because I feel like my brain is becoming slower to process informations, and then I feel very uncomfortable. But when I ask to my colleagues, they don't feel that way. They just think that, oh, I don't think you change. If anything, we are surprised that you start working right after the surgery and you function as always. And we are very impressed. That's what they told me. But that's not how I feel. And then I couldn't really shake that off, the feeling that I'm not myself. So I'm here. I can sleep well. I can eat well. I enjoy drinking. But something is really off in me and with me. Could you please tell me what is happening to me? Am I depressed? Or am I having some kind of mental disorders or illness? And then my psychiatrist told me that you're not depressed yet, but you are getting there. And I don't want you to take any kind of medications right now because you don't need it. But if you don't get enough rest or some time off, you're gonna fall into depressions most likely, based on how I have seen so many other patients in my professional career. So what you need is rest, a lot of rest. And on top of that, if you feel very uncomfortable of not being able to figure out what you feel, what you think, feel like harder for you to process that information to your thoughts, then we recommend you to take the therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. But unfortunately, in Japan, insurance doesn't cover that, so you actually have to pay 100% of the fees, which is not cheap. But based on my assessment for what you have explained, how you acted in front of me, this could be the better options. And once again, even you ask me to prescribe something or make suggestions for possible medications, I don't want to, because you're not depressed yet. This is my diagnosis, and how you want to perceive it is really up to you. So yes, what do you want to do? That's what he told me. And because I wanted to do the cognitive behavioral therapy, I used to live in the US, and then I know that it's very effective, especially with me or on me. I don't know what to say. So I told my doctors that, yeah, I want to do the cognitive behavioral therapy. Could you help me to set up the appointment with the therapist? And then thank you for giving me diagnosis and advice. Yeah, I don't want to take any medications, and thank you for being honest with me. That's how everything started. He didn't recommend me to take medications. If anything, he said that he doesn't want to give me any. He's not gonna give me any medications, even though I would insist. And that makes me really feel like he cares about me. He sees me. He understands my situations well. So afterwards, I have started to seeing a therapist doing cognitive behavioral therapy, and it has been helping me to organize my thoughts, help me to process my thoughts, and then perceptions, and also help me to feel my emotions little by little. And because I actually felt the benefits of doing the therapy in such a short period of time, I didn't listen to the most important advice or diagnosis that my doctor gave me, which is you must take rest. You must take some time off from work for a lot of things. And that was a big mistake, because in the end, in July, my situation got worse. I couldn't sleep, and then I even have a suicidal thoughts, and then everything was completely like out of control, as I talked about in different videos. So on July 12th, that's the day that I happened to make an appointment to follow up everything. And I told my psychiatrist everything, and he said, so Yasu, you're no longer in the conditions that only therapy can help you, or you can actually find a way to get through this on your own. I really think you have to start taking the medications. And based on how we have been communicating, the medications that I would recommend is effexor, venlafaxine. This is the benefits, and that fits diagnosis that I've been giving you. But this is the side effect that you have to consider. Some of them are manageable with another medications, but if your body responds too well, most likely you would actually have more side effect, and you are already in a horrible dark places. You are struggling, you're suffering. On top of that, most likely you'd actually suffer from the side effects as well, and then that would make you feel more miserable. But I believe this is suitable medications for you, and this is gonna help you. And then the side effect, the most severe one, could usually last first week or second week, and then gradually it would actually get better third week and the fourth week, and after a month, most of the people wouldn't feel any side effect. And I really want you to try these medications, because you're in the situations that you cannot get out. With therapy, with however you want to try or save yourself, that wouldn't be enough. But this is still your decisions. This is my diagnosis of yours, and then this is my recommendations. So yes, what do you want to do? As always, he always gave me options. He always gave me power to make decisions. And on that day, my cognitive ability was already very impaired. I couldn't think anything. There was a wall between me and then myself, me and then the world, and me and then other people. So I'm explaining how it happened, everything right now. But back then, I don't think I actually understood what he said in a way that I am explaining right now, because my brain completely stopped working back then. Yet, right after he made suggestions, I told him that I agree with you. I want to do it. Can you prescribe me the medications, and I'm going to start taking from today. And which I did. That's because of how everything ended up getting there. Initially, he said that I'm not depressed yet. He doesn't want to prescribe me any medications. He wants me to take therapy if it's okay with me, even though it's gonna cost me, insurance doesn't cover. And then, and I agree with him, and I did that. And that's how I trust him. If he really wants to simply just making money and everything, he can say that, okay, your situation is not severe, but you're depressed lightly, and if you keep letting it be, it's gonna get worse, so you should take medications right away. He could have said that. Instead, he said that he doesn't want to prescribe me any medications. On top of that, I am the one who didn't listen to his professional diagnose or advice that taking rest. I thought I was okay. I thought I could power through, because I actually went through so many hard times in life, and always I was able to manage to get out, do better, grow, improve myself. So I really thought that I could do that again, but this time I was wrong. So I already knew that I was the one who messed up everything. I was the one who didn't listen to my doctor's professional advice and then diagnosis. And then because of that, it really got me trust my doctors. It's been only 3 months, but so far I am satisfied with how everything have been turned out to be. But a lot of people are surprised that how can you make the decisions? Taking medications, putting the chemical in your system and it's affecting your brain. It's a big decisions. But I made the big decisions because of how I trust my doctors and how I don't trust my judgment in this matter. Here's the thing. I've been reading a lot of things online, watching YouTube and everything, and then so many people talk about, okay, doctor only wants to prescribe medications as much as possible and as many as possible because they can make money that way. And if you go to see a psychiatrist or mental clinic and everything, that's what they want to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't make that much money. And once you're hooked, you really need to keep taking it. That part is probably true. But one way to figure out whether we can trust a doctor or not is before they really get to know us, if they try to prescribe us medications right away, maybe we shouldn't trust the doctors. But in my case, my doctor was not like that. That's why it felt very natural for me to agree with him to start taking the medications. But one very important context of this situation is that I went to see him before my condition got worse. I think in June, I was relatively much better conditions. I was able to make sense a lot of things, explain a lot of things well to my doctors. And then that is why he felt that I don't need the medications yet. So which means that if I go to see other psychiatrists, most likely they would do the same thing. You don't need the medications yet. But if anything, therapy might be more helpful. But hypothetically speaking, let's say that in July, when my condition got so much worse, and if that was the first time for me to see a doctor, probably they would tell me that, okay, you are really in a situation and conditions that you have to start taking the medications right away. Even with my doctor, I think he would say it. And when that happens, I don't think I would make the same decision of agreeing with him right away and start taking, because there is no trust. Because I would just meet the doctor first day and he said, oh, take the medications. I don't think I would listen to him. I would actually doubt his diagnosis because of no trust relationship, and then also my cognitive ability was very impaired, so I wouldn't make a better judgment. So I guess what I want to tell is that it's very important to start seeing a doctor as early as possible, especially when you are still think and feel more clearly, so that you would have ability to judge the doctor or what they diagnose about you, and then you can really make better decisions for yourself. And then if somehow the situation happens to be worse, then because you already trust the doctor, then most likely that you can actually feel comfortable to listen and agree with your doctors about next steps and then so on. So I think that's what I want to tell you in this video. But anyway, it's better that you don't get into these situations. So please take care of yourself. Don't push yourself too hard in life. Just enjoy your life, because that's why we are here. That's why we are alive. So please take care of yourself. And if you feel like it, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in my next one. So for now, じゃあね。Bye. Bye.